Shalom, Israel. Brother Thad from New Wine Congregation of Israel come back with a short lesson through the spirit of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Kakodash. We always give all honor and infinite glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shai, because they deserve it, not us, man. He ain't nothing. But today's lesson I'm going to get into is that we simply just had a contract. We simply had a thing that said, hey, do this. And if you don't, this is going to happen. So you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's wondering why nothing good happened for you. You wondering why all this bad and all this stuff happened to you is because we don't keep God's commandments. We don't do what he say do, right? Like our forefathers, unfortunately, they didn't do what the Lord say do. That's why we suffering out these things which he said that was going to happen. But let's get it just to prove it. I'm going to show you the contract that he left for the good and for the bad, right? We just going to read the top ones, right? And then we're going to go to the next one, right? So this Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. Matter of fact, let's start at 29 verse 1. It says, these are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, besides the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. So these are the words which the Most High spake unto blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the children of Israel. All right, this is the covenant that he made. All right, this is the covenant that he made with the children of Israel, man. And this the first one. He gave us an option, man. Either you do this and you get this, or you do this and you do this. Just like at a job. You come to work and you do what you're supposed to. You get dental, you'll get all these different things. But then, like at the job also, if you don't show up and you don't do what you got to do, unfortunately, you get fired, right? You're going through all this hell. But the Lord required us just to keep his commandments, and we'll be on top, which is heaven. And if we don't keep his commandments, we'll be in hell, man. Let's get it. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken. But it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. Right? So the contract was, if you do what I say do, you keep my law, statutes, commandments, that I will put you on high above every other nation. But as a nation of people, do we do what God say do? No, we don't. So this is what we face today. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So the Lord simply just said, if you break them, you don't do the contract, it's going to be curses on you. You're going to be going through all the curses for what I told you. And that's unfortunately what we go through today. And Lord willing that it don't last another four years or a year, right? Hopefully all this stuff end recently or coming up, Lord willing. Let's get let's get this right quick. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, thou shalt call them to mid among all the nations where the Lord thy God has driven thee. And shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice according to all that I commanded thee this day, thou and thy children with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return to gather thee from all nations where the Lord thy God has scattered thee. So right, if we do what he say do, and that's what we got to do in the last days, to come back to the Most High, come back to the contract and be like, man, I want to sign my name again. Children of Israel, we ready to do what the Lord say do now. Right? So he said if we come back to him, he's going to turn the captivity and have compassion on us, man. And will return and gather thee from all nations, where the Lord thy God has scattered thee. We know through the curse that we will be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Not literally four corners of the earth like the world is flat. It's talking about north, east, south, and west, man. You know, let's get this one. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, death and evil. So, and in that I command thee this day, verse 16, to love the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgment, and that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But if thy heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt be drawn away and worship other gods to serve them, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land whether thou pass over Jordan to go possess it. Right? And that's heavy right there, man. So the Lord set before us already life and good, which is the blessing. And he also set before us death and evil, which is the curses. And he said, but if we turn, he said that if we do what he commanded us to walk in all his statutes, that he'll let us go back and that he'll let us go to the land. But he said, we turn our heart away to worship other gods, then we're gonna surely perish as we do today. We perish by police brutality. We perish because we don't have fathers in the home. We perish because of different reasons, man. Verse 19, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death. So he basically set before us life and death. Life, the commandments, and death will be breaking. Blessing and cursing, going into the book of Deuteronomy 28. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. Thou mayest to love the Lord thy God, that thou mayest to observe his voice, and thou mayest to cleave unto him, for he is thy light and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them, man. That's all praise to the Lord, man. So the contract requirement is that we just have to keep the commandments of the Lord, have faith in him, man. Right? Because he is our power. When they know that we sin against our God, we have nobody, man. The Lord not going to fight for us, man. But we keep his commandments, he will fight for us, man. When you seeing that change, that the Lord's waking up the nation of Israel, he's pouring out his spirit, according to Joel chapter 2 and verse 28, roughly paraphrasing. He's pouring his spirit upon all flesh, right? And we prophesying, man, telling our people that we ready to go home, that it's time to wake up, man. It's time to wake up and keep God's commandments. Come back to his law, statutes, commandments, man. It's a real awakening hour, bro. Spiritually, y'all got to wake up, man. It's an awakening hour. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Lord's he's really waking up the children of Israel in these last days, man. And we just hope to escape and hope to be a part of that number, man. Lord willing, and be saved out of this captivity, this hell, according to the curse of Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But the Lord's finna bring Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. And who wouldn't want to see that, man? We should all want to see that. We should all strive every day to be perfect for the Most High. Not the definition of the world's perfect, but to be perfect for him. Because we know that the elect is going to fall many times, but they're going to get up and they're going to repent. You can't fall out of this truth, man. Don't fall out of this truth, man. You've been doing this thing for too long to just fall out and just give up on the Lord, man. If I forget Jerusalem, man, roughly paraphrasing, man, don't ever forget Jerusalem, man. Remember the mission. Keep God's commandments, man. His brother Thad from New Wine Congregation of Israel. I want to give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakodash, and Shalom.